Alright, so we're on the Japanese Pokemon Masters Twitter account right now, and they posted some gameplay on the Latias Legendary Arena that's coming out in the next like 3 days from now. And okay, so Latias is weak to Dragon and Fairy, but over here it's showing Dragon and Dark because that's like the first weaknesses that appear. I think the second HP gauge is when Latias becomes weak to Fairy, and then it goes back to Dragon for the final HP gauge, but yeah, it's definitely, it looks fun for sure. It's basically the same thing as the Latios Legendary Arena, but this one is obviously more beefed up because with the new synchros that we got after the Latias or the Latios Legendary Arena previously. Obviously, they want to ramp up the difficulty because of the power creep that we just got. So, I mean, I already took a look at this, and it does look like to be the same basically, but obviously with damage reduction, Latias is going to be a little bit annoying in terms of damage wise, but with Hydreigon and Iris, like, it's not going to be too much of an issue because like they're able to lower special attack and physical attack, and then if you have defense crush on them as well, then that's going to be defense lowering too, so it should work out fine. But let's just take a look at the gameplay that they have over here for us. And for these bosses over here, we got Alakazam and Flygon as a side Pokemon. And for Alakazam, obviously you're going to want to have his special attack lowered, because he's going to hit pretty hard on his Hyper Beam. So you'd want to make sure you're lowering his special attack. And the same with Flygon, you're going to want to lower his physical attack. But Latias, you're going to want to lower both special and physical. And obviously it's going to be super easy when you have Iris and Hydreigon because they lower both. But I would personally say Alakazam is more of a threat just because of that Hyper Beam that we need to watch out for. But if you have special damage reduction and you're lowering the special attack, like, I think you should be fine anyways, especially if you have Hydreigon and Iris. So if you haven't picked them up yet and you want to have an easier time in this event, you're probably going to want to pick up Iris and Hydreigon, and also Diantha and Gardevoir when they do come out. If you're one of those players that want to have an easy time in each event, then you're going to want to pick up those two characters. But you don't need to, there's other characters that can also get the job done. But yeah, let's continue over here. We're not going to be able to like sort of translate everything, just because, yeah, I don't speak Japanese. I know I'm learning Japanese, but at the same time, like, I just know the basics. But yeah, so over here, like, we can see Flygon got his special and physical attack increase. So everybody, they get their special attack and physical increased. So Hydreigon, like, when you use Snarl or Breaking Swipe, they're just going to be in the -1. So it will take some time because they're obviously going to be increasing their offensive stats like crazy. Because when they have their stats increased, they're going to be getting more damage reduction as well. So you're going to want to make sure you're lowering their stats constantly so that the damage reduction is much lower, so you're able to do a lot of damage to them. And oh yeah, I mean, we don't have our attack increase. Like, wait, did they have their attack increase when they did that damage? Oh, that's brutal. Oh oh, that's nasty. Okay, so Hydreigon does have his physical attack to the max, and he did like 600, 700 damage on Dragon Rush. Oh, man, that damage reduction, that's crazy. Okay, yeah, I was not expecting it to be like that insane. But they do have like their defense lower. Like, they do have a lot more stats lowered this time around. Oh yeah, that's a big difference there. So previously they had like nothing lowered, and they had their stats increased, so damage reduction is going to be there. So yeah, everything is increased as you can see over there, nothing in the minus, and they're going in for an attack while Hydreigon, yeah, that's crazy. So you definitely want to make sure you're lowering the enemy's attack or stats in total, just so you can reduce the damage reduction on their side. So yeah, Hydreigon is definitely going to be a big role in here because, like, you can see the damage increase. Like, that's a big damage increase. Like, that's literally 3,000 damage more when you have those stat reductions. And it can get even more lower or more higher the damage because they only had 2 stats lowered. So you can also get special attack lowered, defense, speed. Like, any kind of stat that you could lower is going to reduce the damage reduction for Latias. So you're going to want to make sure you're lowering their stats. And obviously, I think Snatch is going to play a big role in here too. So you can have one team with Hydreigon and Iris lowering the special attack stat, and then you could also have another team with Snatch with Grimsley and Liper. So I think those two teams will be very good, especially when you have Gardevoir here too, because Latias is going to be weak at one point. So having Gardevoir ready to go is going to be very beneficial too, because she can also lower special defense, or is a special attack on Moonblast. But Gardevoir is another one that can also lower stats, so going to be very big for sure. And they can also sync nuke too, so in the fairy stage they're going to be very good there when it comes to sync nuking. And the 5,000 damage, so 5,000 damage there, how much was it reduced? So they had -6 physical attack and then -5 defense, or is that physical defense? Yeah, physical defense. Okay, and then they did 5,000 damage there, and that's only on the first HP gauge. So interesting. So the damage, or the type change does go to fairy on the second HP gauge. So yeah, Gardevoir is going to be very good here, and this is the part that gets me. This is the part that gets me. I don't know why they decided to use Sylveon here. Like, what? Sylveon and Grumble, like literally the worst Saiyan pairs in the game, and they're just like, yeah, let's bring them here into a showcase. Like, we know Gardevoir and Diantha are coming. Like, they could have just used them in battle here. But I don't know, like some of the decisions they do is just funny, because it's like Grumble and I mean, in this stage I guess, but like you're at the second HP gauge, wouldn't you want to get rid of Alakazam and Flygon? Like, especially Alakazam, they're just like, oh, he has Hyper Beams, not a threat, it's not a big deal. But like, look at all those stat increases, it's crazy. The damage reduction they're going to have, but at the same time they also have -6 physical attack and then -5 physical defense too. So I mean, they can do damage, but at the same time, like, that's a lot. Like, their evasiveness is now up, or Latias' evasiveness. It's crazy. This event definitely looks to be interesting. I don't know how difficult it's going to be, because like the footage or the gameplay that we saw over here, like, it's not like too intense it looks, but as long as you have damage reduction like lowered, it's gonna be fine. Because again, like over here, like there is no damage or a stat reduction. We can see the damage that the Hydreigon does over there. It's like 700 damage, and he's at the max physical attack with crit and everything. So it's crazy how much damage reduction they're gonna have when they don't have any minuses on their side. So yeah, they're going to be here in like 3-4 days from now, so it's going to be a lot of fun taking this one on. Like the previous Legendary Arena, it wasn't really that fun, Cresselia, just because the replay aspect or the replayability for Cresselia wasn't really there, because there was just so much that Cresselia was doing that it just didn't really make it a lot of fun, because like she nerfed so many things. Like she had crit defense, or a crit barrier, special physical barrier and stuff like that. So it was just super annoying. Like, they can make it difficult, but allow us to be able to use different sync pairs, not just specifically certain sync pairs that we have to take into the battle. So it does seem like this time around Latias is going to be better, as long as you have their stats getting lower, so that you could have their damage reduction lower too, because we can see how big that damage reduction is. From 700 damage to like 3,000 damage over here. It's crazy, the difference of damage when you have stats lowered. Because like, is it over here? Yeah, just about over here. So yeah, like from 800 damage to almost 3,800 damage for lowering their stats over there. Like, it's crazy for sure. So Hydreigon is going to be a big role here. So if you did end up summoning 4 Hydreigon and you did get him to 3 out of 5, he's going to play a big role, of course. I'm sure Grimsley and Lightbird will play a big role as well with the Snatch ability, or the Snatch move. So 2 teams for sure are going to be good to go, because if you have Lightbird and Hydreigon on 2 teams, then you're going to be able to have their stat reduction lowered, so you could reduce the damage reduction. But let me know what you guys think of the Legendary Arena. Like with the footage that we saw here, like, do you think it's going to be a super hard difficulty Legendary Arena, or do you think it's going to be easy, like the Latios Legendary Arena? Because originally we thought Latios was going to be super hard just because there's 3 Pokemon. But it turned out that it was super easy. So who knows? Maybe it will be easy like that, but I hope not. I hope there's a nice balance of difficulty. But I guess we'll have to see. But in terms of like Pokemon, I feel Alakazam is going to be the one Pokemon that you're going to want to get rid of right away because of that Hyper Beam. It's going to do a bunch of damage. So I don't know. That's just my personal thought. Obviously you could take out whichever Pokemon you want to do first. Me personally, I'm going for Alakazam. That guy is going to be a problem. And Hyper Beam, I'm not good friends with Hyper Beam, so I want to get rid of that as soon as possible. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think of this arena so far. Obviously, when we actually go into the battle, it's going to be a different story. But from what we saw, let me know what you guys think. If it's going to be difficult or if it's going to be easy, leave that down in the comments below. That's going to be it for this video, and I'll see you guys later.